Hi guys, a little update on our Lister project. Managed to get both valves out. Both valves are stainless steel. Rust has not touched them, although the inlet valve here took 18 tonnes of force from my press to get it out. So it was very stuck due to the fact that it was been open for many years out in the weather. The head is all cleaned up, ready to go. Injector pump is shagged. C solid in the up position, so it was actually full of water. It is non-retrievable, but we do not need that. The injector has come up alright, but we won't be needing that either. Now it just so happens the outside diameter of the spark plug is the same as the outside diameter of the injector nozzle, so we'll be placing the spark plug in the hole with a tube and a plate like that used to hold the injector in place. Put in place the injector, and having the tube we can then run our lead down onto the spark plug. The compression changer valve, which allows you to change from one compression ratio to the other, was very seized, as you can see. It indeed has a few pits in it from the rust. That was a 3-hour project to get that free. Lots of hot and lubricant and bashing, twisting and turning. The head gaskets on these are a 3-piece head gasket. We have a thick copper plate, which you can see this lip on it. Then we have a thin copper plate. I've annealed both of these. I'll just have to clean them up. And in between that is sandwiched a piece of card gasket, which is completely buggered. So we will be in fact actually rebuilding the head gasket itself. We have our new gasket material, high temp material. It is the same thickness as this. The fuel filter, although we're not going to be using it, is an original Lister rope filter. It's a hollow rope that the fuel passes through. So we're going to bolt that back on the motor, even though we're not using it, just for keepsake, in case we ever decide to go back to original. The original Lister exhaust, and of course, other than the gaskets, the original Lister plumbing for the water jacket. So all the bits that we need to get free are freed. We just need to clean them up and put them all back together. The motor itself, we have the governor all freed up. However, we won't be using these linkages. There'll be a different linkage setup going to the butterfly on the inlet. This is where the fuel pump was bolted. This was also seized in the up position, but I have managed to free that, and also both the lifters I have managed to free up. The ignition system, I was going to drive off of this using an optical sensor, but in daylight I don't think that would serve its purpose well unless we made a cover for it. But behind this cover, and located in here of course, is the camshaft and the governor system, and it is a 2:1 gear ratio to the crank. Behind this little tin cover the shaft protrudes, and that is where the pulley for the radiator fan would normally be bolted. However, that is where we are going to bolt our set of points. I'm going to use points because they are very robust, and this engine only doing 600 RPM, I'll have no problem at all coping with that. Both water jackets in the head and the barrel, spend a couple of hours cleaning out. Probably can't see, it's pretty dark, but I've got all the flaky rust cleaned out, and I'm now going to treat it with a rust converter to make sure that it lasts us for a while. The other good thing is the piston. This here is our magnet. The piston is solid cast steel. it is not aluminium. So that will take pretty much any punishment we're going to throw at it. So basically all I've got to do is clean this up. I've done one flywheel, it's come up pretty good. I've got to do the rest of the block, and I'm also going to strip the oil pump off and make sure that is all happy. Another little something we have for the project that I picked up from work is this busted ass old fan, which was quite funny in itself. When starting it up, apparently the fan blade and the shaft come straight out of the rotor and landed in the protector cage. So of course that was promptly returned. But the bit I wanted was this part here. Inside we have our water container and our mister. Now it says spraying, but when you turn it on, it is just a fog that comes out there. Very, very fine mist. It's that fine it doesn't even wet your hand. So that is going to be absolutely ideal for injecting into the motor as well. And maybe a bit of experimenting of passing it between two high voltage plates to ionise it and see what happens there. But a litre of water apparently lasts about 3 hours, so that's going to do us very, very well. So I just got to strip it all out. Of course we won't be keeping the fan, well maybe I'll just keep the fan and chop this bit off here because it looks pretty. So we could even use the on-off switch and speed mode from the motor to operate some other things. Something to look into in the future. But first up we have to get the motor back together. So just a little update as to where I'm at. We are getting there, a little slower than I like, but we are getting there. I would think maybe the weekend after this one we will have some sort of run. Of course it will be running on LPG, and then we will be adding our hydrogen system to it to see what we can achieve from that. I have decided to once again modify my little generator. This will also give us an electric start on the lister. So I'm just going to machine up a shaft and make up a bearing carrier at the back where we can bolt it onto the frame, add a pulley to drive from this motor. Alrighty, well that's it from me, and I'll post another video a little later on with some more updates. Cheers.